All right, we're out here at Blue Mesa, and we've been talking about the transition from our typical boat ramps at the lake to now what's going to be considered shore launching. So what does that even look like? So there's a couple of different places out here that you can consider, and those are typically going to be off the Saponero Beach, which is down by Mack Island, is one place. And a second place that people have been looking at is the Bay of Chickens. And the third place that is viable, at least currently, so far how it looks, is the Middle Bridge. So we are here at the Middle Bridge to show you what that looks like. And so as we're talking about the shoreline, shore launching possibilities, of course, if you've got a hand launch vessel like a kayak or a little john boat or a raft or something like that, those three places plus others are very suitable for that. But if you're launching a powered boat that requires you to back your trailer all the way into the lake to float the boat off the trailer, those three spots I mentioned are about the only ones that'll work for that. And the one thing that you really want to look at before you just jump in and go do it is how does it look getting from the highway down to these places along the water's edge that actually look viable for a boat. So in particular, like here at Middle Bridge, as soon as you pull off the highway and start down the old highway, which is what we're standing on right now, you're going to encounter a couple really big potholes right out of the gate. And then as soon as you get past that asphalt up out of the parking lot up top and head down towards the water, there's a pretty long section of pretty rough road. It's got some pretty good sized rocks in it. It's just rough. And then when you get from there, you'll get a visual of where this roadway goes all the way up to where towards the highway. So there's a couple sections of that old highway that are washed out. And so you actually have to go on the beach and drive around those washed out sections and get back on the old road. So use caution doing that. There's also, it's kind of rough in a couple spots doing that. And then up onto the highway and off the highway is a little steep. But at the end of the day, when you look at this particular spot, I mean, you can see the highway paint going way out into the lake. And so you obviously have a good asphalt base for you under your truck, under your trailer. So the possibility of getting your rig stuck is a lot less here. But with the really, really shallow grade on the road, you're going to have to back out a long ways out into the lake to get your boat to float off the trailer. So doing it by yourself is going to be a bit of a challenge, simply because you're going to have to get wet if you're by yourself, because your whole rig's going to be clear out there in the lake by the time it's deep enough for your boat to float out. Otherwise, definitely bring two people, somebody to back you off, somebody to drive back out. The other thing to consider is to also be considerate of everybody else that's using the same place. And that's one of the drawbacks to this Middle Bridge spot. There's not really anywhere else to park. When you get off the side of this old road, it gets really soft on the edges where it's just now starting to dry out. You'll see all kinds of ruts where everybody's been getting stuck. So you'll have to drive from this asphalt runway here close to, it's like 400 or 500 yards away to park to get off the old road and to be able to allow access for everybody else. Otherwise, you get more than probably 2 trucks in here, you're not going to be able to fit anybody else parking wise. So then from there, if you kind of look left or right of this old runway, you're going to see some gravel banks on each side, which is going to be a place that you could unload a passenger to go get the truck, or if you're by yourself, beach your boat to go park your truck. So that's kind of what you're dealing with. Lake wide, with any of the shore launching spots that are going to be available or are available right now, it's one, consider how hard it's going to be on your equipment to get from the highway to these places. And then once you get to these places, what is the actual launching and loading process going to look like? Hopefully that kind of helps put a visual out there of kind of what this is all looking like right now.